Good afternoon, everyone. It's Mike Nelson, the Superintendent of Schools. First and foremost, congratulations on making it through our 10 days of COVID-19 planning and training readiness. I hope you feel as prepared as possible for tomorrow, where we will welcome students back into our schools for the first time since March 13th. With that being said, I thought it was important to offer you as much planning and collaboration time this afternoon to make any final preparations in anticipation for our work starting tomorrow. With that being said, I have two main objectives today. The first is a presentation to recognize the longevity of many of our staff members, and the second objective is to offer some closing remarks on the eve of the first day of school tomorrow. So with that being said, I will move on to objective number one. Staff member longevity recognition presentation. Typically each year we meet in our cafeteria or our auditorium to recognize the many years of service that so many of you have offered the Tri-Town schools. Although we're not in person, I think it's very important that we maintain some of our traditions. And today we recognize the years of services that have provided our students so many incredible learning opportunities over the years. First, 10 years of service. I want to thank Jill Foy of the Mattapoisett Elementary School District, and then moving to the high school, Susan DeRocha. Moving back to the Mattapoisett School District, Colleen Johns. One of our math teachers at the junior high school, Jeff Lombard. A special education teacher, one of Jeff's colleagues, Hope Perkins. Also at Old Rochester Regional, Richard Roberts. From Sippican School, Ashley Swetland. In Rochester Memorial School, one of our special education teachers, Bridget Wallenhop. Thank you for 10 years of excellent services to our students and families. Next, recognizing those with 15 years of service to the Tri-Town Public Schools. Cheryl Almeida out of our central office, Greg Andre from the junior high school, Beth Faria from the junior high school, Kim Gogan, one of our paraprofessionals from center school, also one of her colleagues, Lisa Hill, and Jane Kendall, our Project Grow teacher at center school, a speech and language pathologist, Darby Lambert Matos from Rochester Memorial School, Tara Nelson, Shirley O'Connor, Linda Parker, Mr. Corey Phillips from the junior high school, Valerie Plant, Richard Powers, Dennis Raymond of Old Rochester Regional, and Bill Simmons, one of our IT specialists from Rochester Memorial School. Thank you for 15 years of dedication and service. Moving forward, recognizing those with 20 years of service. Marianne Amoruso, Steve Cavallo, Principal Colner, Dr. Colin Everett from the high school, Principal Duvall, from Sippican School, Donna Dunn, Beth Hemingway from Rochester Memorial School, Nancy Juvenile, Jeff Kelsey, Jean Roseman from Sippican School, Jennifer Ruzanowski, serving Center School and Old Hammondtown School, Lorraine Sherman, Joanne Smith from Rochester Memorial School, Bill Tilden, our Campus Aide and Athletic Director, Janine Trinfalia, Therese Valente. Again, thank you for 20 years of service and dedication to our students and families. Last but not least, 25 years of service. Diane Alexander from Rochester Memorial School, congratulations and thank you. Debbie Bakayaki, also from Rochester Memorial School. And from Sippican School, we would like to recognize for 25 years of service, Barbara Bandara and Emily Bourgeois. Again, thank you for 25 years of excellent service. Congratulations, and please know that your recognition pins will be sent directly to you at your school buildings. Thank you for your years of dedication and service to our students, families, and to all of your colleagues. We truly appreciate it. Next, to meet my second objective that I've set out today, is to offer some closing remarks as we prepare for our 2020-2021 school year. Again, it is my privilege to once again be able to address all of you on the eve of September 16th, our first day of school, officially kicking off the 2020-2021 school year. The best part of this school year is that in many ways we have two first days of school, one for cohort A and one for cohort B, not to mention our remote learners. Embrace the silver linings this year. The feelings that we have on the first day of school, whether as a student, a parent, or as an educator, are some of the most incredible feelings we experience in the educational field. School is exciting, and especially the first day of school. Since March 13th, we have been preparing for this moment to welcome students back into our school buildings. Whether it was through individual efforts, planning team participation, groups, or providing feedback to the administration on what direction our schools should move in, we have all been contributing to the Back to School 2020-2021 plan for the Old Rochester Regional School District and Superintendency Union Number 55 schools. Much like the philosophy of professional learning communities, this work is never done. We will continue to work together to make sure that our Back to School plan continues to improve and meet the needs of our local communities and its students. I am confident that each school in our Tri-Town community is truly ready to start doing what we do best, and that is to return students to our classrooms for teaching and learning. As we all know, there is no learning model that can replicate the power of teachers being with their students. Since September 1st, I have visited each of our schools multiple times, including Center School, Old Hammondtown School, Rochester Memorial School, Sippacan School, Old Rochester Regional Junior High School, and Old Rochester Regional High School. I can't tell you how important it was for me personally to see all of you back in the school buildings training and planning to ensure the most successful and meaningful back-to-school experience for all of our students. The school buildings truly look amazing, and although our classrooms look different in some ways, to me they still look as inviting and warm as ever. From the bulletin boards, classroom decorations, to the pictures on the walls, it is clear how much effort all of you have put into making sure our students feel comfortable as they return to our school buildings, offering them the most welcoming and safest learning environments possible. It is important for us to acknowledge that we have truly been tasked with redesigning our school days in every aspect. We have spent time thinking about the most basic operations of a school day, such as hallway traffic patterns, bathroom use, where our students eat, to truly reinventing our teaching and learning approaches. We have adopted new educational lingo and jargon that will define our ideology in the immediate moment and for years to come. All of you have helped prepare learning models that meet students and families where they are at. Call it hybrid learning, remote learning, or anything else you want. What I know is that all of you are ready to do what is needed for your students. The past 7 months have challenged each student and each family in different ways. I urge you to be as compassionate and understanding with all those around you as we continue to transition back to a sense of stability. That stability is educating our students. I also urge you to be kind to yourself and your colleagues. Self-care and support is paramount in this type of environment. The impact that COVID-19 has had on all of us has been immense. Our way of life has been paused in so many ways and now is being redesigned, and it is okay to say that this is hard to accept. We know that all students will need our support, and we need to make their educational experiences meet them where they're currently at, while promoting high expectations. Remembering back on our work with Dr. Adolph Brown, he said, by effectively teaching all students, we changed the odds of the detrimental effects of the excess baggage that children carry with them on a daily basis. Of foremost importance to educators is not necessarily changing the conditions in which children live, but understanding the lives that children live. Therefore, make sure you know that our students, like all of you, have been dealing and coping with the COVID-19 scenario in different ways, and now they need all of you to help establish a strong sense of school community with trusting adult relationships. Education and schooling has been a dominant topic in our society for some time now. Whether it is being discussed on social media, amongst your friends and family, on the news, or anywhere else, the conversations have been persistent. There are many different debates that we all are hearing regarding what is best for our students and families, and what we should be doing right now as we continue to commit ourselves to educating students during one of the most challenging times in recent memory. Instead of focusing on the rhetoric or different perspectives, What I encourage you to do instead is realize that the reason why education is such a dominant topic right now is because that the work you do is that important. It is that critical. It is that essential. Educators are essential workers in countless ways, and our communities depend on you in more ways than they can articulate. Going to school is a way of life for our students and families and for all of us. The point is this: everyone knows that our students are best served when all of you are in the school buildings and making sure that our students are learning. But what is even more important is for all of us to recognize that we do have the ability to learn from this experience and collaborate with one another to improve our educational programming now and moving forward. It is my opinion that when we do move into phase 4 or see the end of the COVID-19 pandemic, there will be learning outcomes that benefit our schools for years to come. In other words, our collaborative planning efforts, rethinking of programming, and designing of school operations will have led to innovative educational changes in our Tri-Town schools. If I have learned anything in navigating this pandemic and the other challenges facing our local communities right now, it's this: our school community stakeholders and all of you are unwavering in doing what is best for our students and families. I am extremely grateful to work with a faculty that possesses the expertise and skill sets to make sure our student outcomes are always improving. To be even more pointed with you, I am extremely grateful to work for a staff that understands that educating children goes beyond academic content and includes helping children learn through meaningful experience, while developing social and emotional competencies that will serve them now and into adulthood. As we should recall from a recent presentation made to our faculty, Trevor Muir, an expert on project-based learning and the author of the EPIC Classroom and Collaborative Classroom, was clear with us. We must always ensure that teaching is memorable, because if teaching is not memorable, it poses the following question: was it really teaching at all? All of you who work for these schools are ready to continue our mission to inspire all students to think, to learn, and to care. Although we all feel like new teachers in many ways, we all have experiences that will serve us well as we start the 2020-2021 school year. Instead of seeing change as overwhelming and daunting, think about all the lessons and teaching approaches that work for you, that you have had the most success with over the years, and find ways to make them work now, even if you're doing it a little bit differently. Oftentimes, there are minor changes in our approaches that can make all the difference in what we are setting out to accomplish. In closing, our goals and desired learning outcomes remain the same this year. Our work focused on 21st century learning that highlights the importance of life and career skills through learning and innovation will continue in ways we never imagined when we committed to our Vision 2023 strategic plan. To ensure teaching and learning can happen consistently, we will continue to foster relationships that promote student investment, ensuring that students feel valued as members in their learning communities. And lastly, we will continue to nurture a school culture where students are invested in their learning and respect differences, committed to being schools that are actively anti-racist. As a result, as I discussed with all of you in my opening remarks 10 planning and training days ago, we will have promoted our Tri-Town students with 21st century academic skill readiness, strengthened social and emotional competencies, and prepared them to be engaged global citizens. I offer my best to all of you as you prepare to welcome our students back into their schools tomorrow. Jimmy Cassis, an educational leader in the field, has voiced time and time again the following: everyone has the capacity to lead, and everyone here is responsible for the culture and climate of their organization. No one person is responsible for the culture and climate of an organization. No one person is responsible for determining your success or failure but you. And no one is responsible for your morale but you. As always, I continue to be grateful for the opportunity to serve as the superintendent of schools and to support the work that each and every one of you do to the highest level. Everyone is a leader, and now it is time for all of us to lead as we implement our Back to School 2020-2021 plan. Take care, and I'll see all of you tomorrow.